Hello, it's Chris from My Stamp Lady, and I'm here with the Under My Umbrella bundle. So this bundle is available right now in our January through June mini catalog, and it comes with the Under My Umbrella set and the coordinating punch. You can find it on page 42, and here is the punch and the stamp set. Now, if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and help you with your order. You can request a catalog on my website at mystamplady.com. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Stampin' Blends with the umbrella and the rubber boots from the Under My Umbrella bundle. I'm also going to pull in a coordinating product called Pleased as Punch. This is a paper that's available right now in my online store, and it coordinates with punches from our products available through the Celebration and the mini catalog. So the first one here, the flower, is through the Celebration, and the rest are through the mini catalog. In the back side has a nice pattern if you don't want to use the punched shapes. Okay, we're going to start with stamping all of the pieces that we need. I'm using Tuxedo Black because Tuxedo Black works so well with these Stampin' Blends markers. We have the Real Red Combo, I have light Granny Apple Green, and I have dark Mango Melody. I'm putting a Stampin' Pierce pad underneath my white cardstock. You get a better image with the photopolymer stamps when you use the Stampin' Pierce pad. So I'm going to be inking up the umbrella, the boots, the flower, and one handle, and then we will stamp them onto the Whisper White cardstock. I'm positioning the umbrella here so that it'll be easy to punch out, so I'm coordinating it with how the punch works. For the boots and the flower, I am going to have to fussy cut, so those it doesn't matter quite so much where I stamp those. And then with the umbrella handle, I'm looking how it's positioned on the punch, and I will try to coordinate that with this narrower piece of cardstock. So we'll ink up that stamp, Tuxedo Black still. Okay, I am going to pull in those Real Red markers, the Stampin' Blends. I have the combo, the light and the dark, and I'm going to show you how I use those. I like to start by coloring with the brush end. There is also a bullet end, so I am choosing the brush end to color the one section. I like to work with one section at a time. So let's color the entire area with my light marker. And I do turn my project as I'm coloring it, just to help stay in the lines. I use light touches, a very light touch in fact, and small strokes. So then I'm going to cap that because it's an alcohol marker and it will dry fairly quickly. Now I'm going to go in along where the wire would set between each section and add some dark Real Red. By adding some of the dark Real Red, I am adding some shadowing and depth to my umbrella. So after I've got the Real Red, the dark where I want it, I cap my marker again. I like to keep those markers capped. You can see where that is. And then I'm going to pull in the light Real Red and go back over it to blend in those hard edges. You don't want the hard edges left, but I will be able to still see some of the darkness along the edges and have some depth. And after it dries, you'll still even have a little bit more of a different look. And you can go back in after it dries and work with it some more if you'd like. I have the Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to do my leaves and the Mango Melody. And I'm just using these markers full strength, just not blending, coloring, adding some color to that flower. But I will go in on my time and do the boots, just like I did the umbrella section. So we'll add some depth to those boots, adding a little bit of red in the center of the flower, and I will cut out the boots and the flower. But the umbrella I can do with the punch. So let's line that punch up, or the umbrella into the punch with how the open umbrella is, punch that out. And then I will take that handle, line that up into the handle spot there, and punch that out. You'll have a little bit of scrap by doing this, but I find it easier to work in pieces rather than to try to get them to fit together. So here are my umbrella pieces that I'll need for my card, but I'm going to set those aside. And I have a half a sheet of thick Whisper White cardstock. It is 4¼ by 11 inches, 4¼ by 11 inches, and I've scored it at 5½ inches. You do want to score this cardstock because it'll give it a crisper fold and you'll have a nicer card base. I have a piece of the raindrop paper from that Pleased as Punch paper. This is the one I showed briefly at the beginning. So the umbrellas are one side, the raindrops on the other. You can use the punch to punch out either the open umbrellas or the closed umbrellas. They both work. And you can see here that I have done a sample for you. And here is where the closed umbrella is on the punch. So I can set this aside. And I have cut my designer series paper to 4 by 5¼ inches. So this is a nice cardstock mat or background for my card. So now I have the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love these dies. I've been using them so much. They make such a darling little cut. They have a nice stitching, a scalloped edge, and I've used the largest rectangle on a piece of Whisper White cardstock for this card. So I'm going to use Balmy Blue ink with the little raindrop image and stamp myself some raindrops across this front. Now the umbrella is going to go into the lower left corner, so you'll notice I've kind of left that space open or available for the umbrella. Okay, now I've inked up the sentiment with Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to stamp that in the upper right corner. And now we'll be positioning that umbrella in the lower left corner. So I've taken in my silicone mat so that the adhesive doesn't stick where I don't want it to. It just sticks right to that umbrella handle and doesn't stick on my background paper, figuring out where the positioning will go for that and the umbrella. So add some more snail adhesive to the top there. It's a nice easy piece to stick down, and we'll position the top right on the handle. I have a piece of the real red twine from the Country Club suite. So this red twine I'm just going to wrap around, tie a bow, and hope that bow will sit just to the right there of my umbrella. With the boots that I've already colored, you can see I have added Stampin' Dimensionals, the mini Stampin' Dimensionals, so it'll pop up and over that twine. And we'll add those right down to the bottom. A mini glue dot. Let's put that flower bunch right over the boot. It adds a little bit of interest. And then I will trim my tails so that they will fit. I've added some dimensionals to the back side of this rectangle piece, remove the covers, and now let's place that down on the card front. So now I can see how long I want those tails, and I'll trim those down. The holiday rhinestones are still available, and they come and they have a red one. I believe it's cherry cobbler, but it looks nice with this card, and it adds a little interest across the card front. So I have brought in those red rhinestones from the holiday selection or the holiday rhinestone selection and added those. Here's another card that I've done with the same basic supplies. This background gingham is from the back side of the heart paper, and I've punched out one of those umbrellas. I've used a circle here, a scallop circle, rather than the rectangle like I used on my other card. I love these die cut shapes to make these cards, and the Pleased as Punch paper is available for a limited time. So if you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I have all the supplies, the dimensions, and everything on my blog, mystamplady.com. And if you'd like to order any of these products, you can go to shopwithmystamplady.com and place your order in my online store. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell for notifications.